dear students, I hope you all are fine and good at home, and I hope you are doing your work nicely every day. As you have already got the portion, I think you are going through the portion and you are trying to complete all the things. Hmm? So I hope you are practicing everything nicely. Now, student, as we have completed all the chapters in which is given in your book, and now we are going to proceed with the test papers which are left. Today I am going to discuss the test paper 6 with you all, in which the whatever chapters which we have completed after test paper 5, there is a mixture of all the chapter question, and it will be a kind of revision for you from all those chapters. So you all have to you have to go through the video nicely so that you can understand that what that test paper is all about. The test paper is all about the line of symmetry we are going to talk, the perimeters we are going to talk, the geometrical figure we are going to talk, and some about the pictograph. These four things are there which we have to cover in this test paper. Okay, so let's move on, my dear. The line of symmetry. First thing, if you can fold a figure in a half so that the two halves is exactly match, the figure is said to be a symmetrical figure. Means suppose if we are dividing anything, or we are dividing, suppose my dear, this is a page, suppose this one is the page, and if we are folding this page, okay, suppose we are folding this page, okay, and when we are folding this page, this is forming equal half. You can see it is equal from both the sides. Okay, it is equal. So this half, this is the line of symmetry. We can say this is the line of symmetry which is dividing this whole page into two parts. So this is what we have discussed about the line of symmetry, and this line of symmetry which is here is also called as the axis of symmetry. You can see this is the star shaped figure which I have taken. In this figure I have divided into two halves, one half and the another half. When I will fold both the half, it will be exactly match each other. So it is called the line which is dividing that uh, star is called the line of symmetry, or you can say axis of symmetry. Now there are few different types of lines of symmetry. First is a vertical line of symmetry, next is a horizontal line of symmetry, and third is a diagonal line of symmetry. When we are dividing any figure, my dear, vertically, like you can see this bottle which I have divided, this bottle I have divided vertically. You can see the bottle I have divided vertically. So this vertically, why? Vertically means standing line, my dear. Standing. When any line is standing, that is called as a vertical line. The slipping lines, when you used to slip on your bed, okay, those kind of that posture of slipping, that is the horizontal. So that is called as a horizontal or slipping line. When we are dividing any figure like this, it is a horizontally we are dividing. When we are dividing any figure like this, it is vertically we are dividing. Okay, what is diagonal lines of symmetry? Diagonal means when in any of the figure, when any from the point when we are dividing this in, and these diagonal lines can be drawn in few of the figures. In all the figures it cannot be. Okay, like in a circle, you have seen the circle in the flag. Okay, you must have seen the chakra that we used to call. There are spokes in that. From the mid, okay, from the center, we used to pass the line that is called as radius. We have already discussed about these all things. So that is only the line of symmetry, that is a diagonal lines in that, okay, which is dividing the center. From the center we are dividing that in equal parts, and when you will fold all, now you will get all are matching each other. So this is a diagonal line of symmetry. You can see this beautiful Taj Mahal picture I have taken. In this picture you must can see when one shape becomes exactly like another, if we flip, slide or turn it, then the shape is called as a symmetrical. I have already explained with this page that when we are folding this page, my dear, like this, then you can see both the ends are becoming exactly the same. When I am folding this page in this way, okay, both the ends are becoming exactly the same. They are same from both the side. Okay, either you flip, either you slide, or either you turn it. The symmetrical figure which you are drawing, that should divide that particular page in equal halves. When you will fold it, okay, or flip it or turn it, then both the halves should be equal to each other. This you can see, a line of symmetry is the imaginary line where you could fold the image and have both the halves match exactly the means each other. That when you are folding, like you can see the star shape which I have drawn here, when I will fold that now, then both the halves should match each other. One should not be greater or smaller like this. It should be equal in length. That we have discussed about the line of symmetry. Now we are going to move on with some geometrical figures, and we are going to discuss about the types of triangles. So you can see some of the types of triangles are scalene triangle, isosceles triangle, and first of all, a triangle is a figure, a three-side figure which is bounded by all the three sides. That is a triangle. It is a plane figure. Next thing, what is scalene triangle? If we are getting all the sides unequal, if all the side of any triangle is unequal, then it is called as scalene triangle. Then in a scalene triangle only, in your book it is given, there are three parts of the scalene triangle it is given. In your book already it was mentioned, we have discussed that there were three parts of the scalene triangle given. One is given right angle triangle, one is given acute angle triangle, one is given obtuse angle triangle. These are being categorized under the scalene triangle. Scalene triangle is that triangle, my dear, in which all the three sides are unequal. They are not equal, they all are unequal. I am talking about the side. Okay, the triangle is basically classified on the basis of angle and on the basis of side both. So right now we are discussing about side. So scalene triangle, all the sides are unequal. Isosceles triangle, the side of isosceles triangle, in isosceles two sides are exactly the same, the third one is different. Two of the side in isosceles triangles are same, whereas the third one is different. Equilateral triangle, in equilateral triangle all the three sides are same. Okay, in equilateral triangle all the three sides are same. Whereas when we talk about the acute angle, okay, acute angle triangle, then in that one of its angle should be the angle should be less than 690 degree. Means when we are forming an acute angle, we have to see that the measurement should be, all the side measurement should be lesser than 90 degree. Whereas when we are talking about the right angle triangle, in that the measurement should be exactly 90 degree. Okay, so this is the right angle triangle. When we are talking about the obtuse angle, then obtuse angle triangle is that in which the side should be, one of its sides should be greater than 90 but lesser than 180. It can be greater than 90 but it cannot be greater than 180. It should be between 190 to 180. These were the properties of different types of triangles. Okay, the triangles are basically classified into on two bases. First on its sides, and second on a basis of its angle. On the basis of both, I have discussed with you all upside all which is given, that is scalene triangle, isosceles triangle or equilateral triangle, are all being categorized on the basis of its side. Whereas the acute angle triangle, right angle triangle or obtuse angle triangle are being categorized on the basis of its angle. Okay. Although we have already discussed about the supplementary and complementary angles, but still one time again I would like to discuss, if the measurement of two angles, if we are measuring two angles and by measuring the two angles we are getting the measurement as 180 degree, it is called as a supplementary angle. If one of the angle is given to you and you have to measure it in supplementary, then you have to subtract 180 minus whatever the length, whatever the degree of angle is given. Suppose I am giving you one example. Here you can see there are two angles I have drawn here. One is ABC, that is 70 degree, okay, and another is DEF, that is 110 degree. When I am adding 110 degree plus 1 plus 70 degree, I am getting 180 degree. So we can say these both angles are supplementary angles. Whereas suppose if only 70 degree is given to you and you have to measure the angle in supplementary, this kind of question is also given. So you have to measure it in, do the measurement in supplementary angle, like this the question is, and the different types of angle measurement is given to you. Suppose 70 is given, so you just do nothing, 180 minus you do 70, you will get 110 degree. This is the supplementary angle, means when we are adding 110 degree with 70 degree, we are getting 180, and it will complete the supplementary angles. Okay, so like this we used to do the measurement. Next one more. Now my dear, complementary angles. Complementary angles are those angles where if we are measuring two angles and we are getting exactly 90 degree, okay, by after doing the measurement, then it is called as complementary angles. You can see this is a 40 degree angle, this is 50 degree. So 40 degree plus 50 degree when I am doing, I am obviously getting 90 degree. So it is a complementary angle. Suppose if both the measurement of angle is not given, only 140 degree is given, and it is written to you that do the measurement of the following angle with in complementary, means in complementary angle, do the measurement like this. So what you will do, you will do nothing, 90 minus 40 you will do, simply you will get 50 degree. It means if we will add this 50 degree in this 40 degree, we will get 90 degree, and like this we used to measure the complementary angles. Basically, complementary angles are those angles when we are measuring two angles and the sum of the two angles we are getting 90 degree, it is a complementary, and if the sum of two angles we are getting 180 degree, it is a supplementary. Okay. See, this is very important. How we used to use the protractor. Protractor is an instrument for measuring or constructing an angle of a given measure. Whatever the measurement is given, accordingly we use the protractor. It is a semicircular shape. It is in half circle. It is a half circle. Okay. You can see which is marked with a degree from 0 to 180. There are two scales in a protractor. Okay. Here one scale is only given, one more scale used to be there like this. Okay, one is like 0 to 180 here, then again another one is from 0 to 180 like this. Okay, so from the left to right as shown, we used to start doing the measurement from the left to the right one. Okay, and how we used to measure? We used to keep the vertex on this center of the protector, and then we used to measure the degree of the angle. Okay, we are measuring the degree of the angle with the help of the protector, we have to keep the middle one. Okay, this is the baseline, this is the baseline of the protector. Okay, the downside one is the baseline, my dear, it is named as baseline. The baseline of the protector, okay, you can see in the middle one line is there. Okay, you can see this line here. Okay, here it is 90 degree. So whenever we are measuring any angle, my dear, then we used to keep this middle one on the vertex. Vertex you are knowing, okay, that vertex you have to keep where the two rays are meeting. Okay, the two rays are meeting or intersecting, that point is called as vertex. Okay, that there only the angle is formed. So we will keep the protector, okay, on the vertex, and then we can do the measurement by seeing the degrees, which degrees on the protector, okay, where the arms are lying, and that used to be done. Okay, the degree of any angle used to be formed according to how much the arms of the angle is closed or open. If the arms of the angles are closer, then the degree will be lesser. If it is open much, then the degree will be greater. Okay, so and both, either it's arm open much or it is closer much, it is closed much, but we have to do the measurement by keeping the protector center on the vertex. Okay, and then we have to do the measurement. This we have already done, but still you are getting confused how to use the protractor, so I have again explained to you all. Likewise, you can see the center O or the piece is also the middle. You can see here one angle is there. Suppose there is one angle and it is like this. It is not like this one. Okay. So it is like this. So how we will do the measurement? Nothing to do. We will keep the we will keep the protractor, okay, center on the vertex, okay, and it should be on the baseline, okay, it should be on the arm of the baseline should be on the arm of the uh, angle, after that arm of the rays, and then after that we will do the measurement, okay. How we will do the measurement? We have kept the protector on the center, okay, from the center we have kept it on the vertex of. Suppose this is the protector, okay, this is the protector. We will, if we have to measure anything, we will keep this center on the vertex, okay, we will keep this center on the vertex and we can do the measurement, okay. If we are measuring, then we can measure from this side also, like this angle which is drawn here. In this you can see it is drawn like this. It is drawn like this. Some angles used to be drawn like this. So we just have to keep this vertex center, this one center, okay, on the vertex, okay, the center of this protector we have to keep on the vertex, and then we can see that till where the arms are lying, and that only will tell you the measurement of that particular angle, okay. You can see here when we are measuring this one with the help of the protector, we are seeing that this one arm is lying on 60°. It means the angle which is forming here is 60° angle. So we can write angle AOB is 60°. One more thing you keep in your mind, whenever you are writing the name of the angle, the vertex you have to write always in the center. Whenever we are writing the name of any angle, and we always used to write the vertex, the center, okay, in the center, in the middle, okay. We don't write the vertex to the left or to the right side, that will be wrong. The vertex, the angle where it is forming, okay, that should be always in the center, okay. Now we have discussed symmetry, we have discussed geometry. Now we are going to discuss perimeter. Perimeter is, what is the meaning of perimeter? Perimeter is basically when we are doing the sum of all the sides of a given figure, that is perimetry. Perimeter, okay, that is perimeter. Perimeter is basically the sum of all the sides, either the figure of rectangle, square, triangle, anything is given, you just have to do the sum of all the sides, whatever the side is. Sides can be different also and side can be same also. You have to just do the addition of all the sides and then you will get the perimeter of that particular figure. Perimeter is the total distance of all the side of a closed plane figure, okay. This is what perimeter definition is. Peri means around and meter means measure, okay. That is perimeter, means around. The measurement of the around means the whole boundary measurement is particularly known as perimeter. Now let's move on. One of the example, suppose this is a square here, you can see and you can observe this is a square figure. What you have to do, you have to just add all the sides, okay. There is two formula to add it. Either you can add the sides one by one, okay, like 2 meter plus 2 meter plus 2 meter plus 2 meter like this, or else you can do 4 into length of sides, okay, 4 into length of sides. As we are already knowing about the properties of a square, that in the square all the sides are equal in length. In a square all the four sides are equal in length and all the angles are 90°. All the angles are 90° angle, okay, they all are 90°. So we can do it in two ways. Either we can do by adding all the sides, particular elements 2 meter plus 2 meter then 2 meter like this, or else we can do simply 4 into side, okay, 4 into length of side. So if the length of side is given 10, so 4 into, if 10 if you are doing, you are getting the side of all the four corners. If you are doing the 4 into 10, you are getting 40. 40 means the total length you have calculated of this particular given square. Okay, if one side you are knowing, then you can easily find the number of other sides. Like find the perimeter of a square. Suppose this is a question given and the one side is only given, that is 10. So now you will think, miss, if 10 only it is given, then how we will add all the sides? It's very simple. This we are knowing that a square is having all the sides equal, so that 10 only you can add 4 times, or either we can do 4 into 10, then we are getting 40. So that will be the perimeter of the square. Easy. In the similar way, we used to find the perimeter of triangle. Sum of all the sides we used to do. Okay, means A, B, and C. All the sides we used to add. Okay, it is what written. Find the perimeter of the triangle having the dimension that is given. P is 7, Q is 8, and R is 10. Okay, which kind of triangle it is, my dear? We have learned about the different types of triangle. It is a scalene triangle because all the sides are different. All the sides are different. All the side are given, means all the side length is given different. So it is a scalene triangle. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to just add all the sides. Means P also we will add, Q also we will add, and R also we will add. When we are adding all the sides, then we are getting 25 meter. And that 25 meter is the total length of this particular triangle. Okay, this figure which is given here, the length of all the sides we have done, and we have got 25 centimeter. That 25 meter is the exact length of this triangle. Okay, now one question is there, word problem. In the morning walk, Amar walked around a rectangular field. Which kind of field it is? Rectangular. What is the feature of rectangle? That two opposite sides are equal. Okay, opposite sides are equal. All sides are not equal, opposite sides are equal. It is given length is given to 320 meters and breadth is given 210 meter. You can see this is the length. So if one side length is 320 meter, then other side is also same because opposite sides are equal. So if one side is 320 meter, then other side is also 320 meter. If one side is 210 meters, then other side is also 210 meters. You just add all the sides. You just add all the sides, or you can do 2 into length plus breadth. This is also one of the formula. Okay, 2 into length plus breadth also you can do to find the perimeter of this rectangular figure. You can add, or else you can do this one. When we are adding the length and the breadth, okay, then we are getting 640 means 320 into 2 we are doing, and 210 into 10 2 we are doing. 2 times we are doing because the opposite sides are equal. So 2 times we are multiplying it. Then we are getting 640 plus 420. When we are adding this, we are getting 1060 meter. So what is the total of this? The total of this is 1060 meter. Okay. See this one. The side of a square field is 28 meters. It has to be fenced by 3 rounds of wires. We have to fence it by 3 rounds of wire. How much wire will be needed? First of all, try to understand the question. The question is saying that it is a square figure. In a square, if 28 meter is given, it means all the side is 28, 28, 28. Because in a square, all the sides are equal in length. So this is also 28, this is also 28, this is also 28, and this one is also 28. Here we can add 28 plus 28 plus 28 plus 28, or else we can do 4 into sides. That is one time we can do 4 into 28 meter and we will get 112 meters. That is the total length of this square field. After that, it has been fenced by 3 rounds, 3 times. So 3 into 3 into 112 we will do, then we will get 336 meter, and that is the total. Okay, that is, we can say 3 round of wire means whatever the length for one round you are getting, the same length he covered 3 means 2 times more, means 3 times he have walked the whole field. Okay, 3 times, 1, 2 and 3. If one time we are getting 112, so how much we will get more than after that, how much we will get 2 more times, then total 3 times we have to calculate. So first we will calculate 1, okay, that we have got 112. After that we have to multiply that 112 with 3, then we can get the total measurement, that is 336. This much is the total which we are getting when whatever how much wire will be needed for covering that particular field 3 times. Okay, last but not the least, now we are having pictograph that we have done just now. Pictograph means what? A symbolic representation of any given data. Okay, in a pictograph, the same type of pictures or symbols is used to represent a specific number of object. Okay, it can be symbols used. Symbols, basically the why we used to use the symbols, we use the symbols or picture to make it simple, to make that data look simple and easy to understand. The quantity represented by each symbol is mentioned clearly, and that term which is used for that, that is either key or else we can use scale. Okay, and we can write that one flower is equal to 2 or 5, this one smiley is equal to 5. Okay, that we used to write in the key. This key we will write, and equal to we will give, then we will draw the symbol here and we can write equal to 5. Okay, key equals to means one smiley I am drawing, it is equal to 5 in numbers. Pictographs are of different types. You can see different types of fruits are there in an orchard. That is, one is coconut, second one is orange, third is bananas, and fourth is mangoes, and last fifth is apples. So how many number of trees are there in that orchard? The number of trees are there: coconut trees 30, orange trees are 35, banana trees are 25, mango trees are 20, and apple trees are 15. So you can see it is, I have written here that in the scale I have mentioned one tree means 5. Okay, if we are drawing one tree, it refers to 5 number of trees. So in the coconut, how many coconut trees are there? 30 total coconut trees are there na? So how many trees we can draw for representing this? Only 6 trees we will draw. Okay, if we are drawing the 6 trees, then it is representing 30. It shows that there are 30 trees in that 30 coconut trees. In the same way, if we are drawing 7 trees, okay, then it's representing that there are 35 orange trees on the in the orchard. Then you can see how many banana trees are there. You can see there are 25 bananas, so only 5 trees we have to draw, because we are already knowing that one tree is equal to 5. So if we will draw 5 trees, then it means that there are 25 trees of banana. In the same way, how many mango trees are there? There are 20 mango trees, so only 4 trees we have to draw. In the same way, how many apple trees are there? Only 3 apple trees are there, so only 3 trees we have to, 15 mango apple trees are there, so only 3 trees we have to draw, because one tree equals to 5. So if we are drawing 3, then it equals to 15. See, that we have discussed about the pictograph. Okay, now I'm going to discuss about the bar graph. Bar graph is also the same, the pictorial representation, but here we don't have to draw pictures, we used to draw bars. And bars can be drawn in both the ways. Either you can draw the horizontal bars, or else you can draw the vertical bar. The bar which you are seeing right now, that is a vertical bar, my dear. You just have to write down the number to the left side, and downside and at the bottom you will mention the names, and then you can draw the bars according to the number. Okay, according to the number to represent. So for writing the number, it's very important to see the difference from one number to another number, because difference can be of 2 also, difference can be of 1 also, difference can be 10 also, difference can be of 50 also. So accordingly we have to write the number to the left side. You can see from 30 we will start. From 30 it is going to 35, then it is 25, then it is 20 and 15. It means the difference between each of that is of 5. So if we will write the number like 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, like we are writing the multiples of 5. Okay, so after writing that, okay, we will write 0, okay, at the corner, and then the numbers we will write accordingly. And after that we just have to draw the bar. Okay, how much the number is given, according to that only the bar will be drawn. So 30 coconuts are there, so the bar will go till 30. 35 oranges are there, so the bar will go till 35. 25 bananas are there, so the bar will go till 25. 20 mangoes are there, so the bar will go till 20. 15 apples are only there, so the bar we have to represent till 50. So this is how we used to draw the bar. Okay, this is the bar graph which we have discussed right now. And bar graph can be horizontal also and vertical also. Right now I have shown you the vertical one. Now I'm going to show you the horizontal one. In this you can see little bit change is there. That change is that the name of the fruits which we are writing in the bottom, that we will write to the left side, and the name or the numbers we will write in the bottom. Okay, after that we have to draw the bar accordingly the same way. Okay, whatever the data is given, by seeing the data we can observe, and accordingly we have to draw the bars. You can see how I have drawn, and this bar which I have drawn here, that is in a horizontal form. So bar can be drawn vertically or it can be drawn horizontally. No issues in that. Okay, you can draw the bar in both the ways. That is all, my dear. I hope you all have understood whatever I have explained to you all. You all will go through the video nicely. In this 4 chapter I have explained to you all symmetry, geometry, perimeter and pictograph. So it will be a recap of all the 4 chapters for you. Okay, so you will go through it, watch it nicely, and try to see that if any problem you are facing, you can come with that in the classes. We will discuss it together. That is all. Thank you everyone.